the power of making peace with who you used to be. There comes a point in life where you stop running from who you used to be, and you finally decide to turn around and face that version of yourself. Not with anger, not with shame, but with understanding. Because the truth is, the younger you, the imperfect you, the reckless you, the scared you, was doing the best they could with what they had at the time. And maybe they made choices you wish you could erase. Maybe they trusted the wrong people, took the wrong roads, or held on to things long after they served their purpose. But that version of you wasn't your enemy. They were your foundation. See, maturity isn't about pretending you never messed up. It's about recognizing that every decision, even the bad ones, taught you something you needed to learn. Strength, patience, boundaries, self-respect, courage. The power of making peace with who you used to be lies in the freedom it gives you. Because as long as you're angry at your past self, you stay stuck there. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You keep replaying old scenes, arguing with old mistakes, trying to change something that already happened. And that robs you of the energy you need to build what comes next. You don't have to love the old you. You just have to understand them. Understand why they acted the way they did. Understand what they were afraid of. Understand that they walked through storms so you wouldn't have to. When you finally make peace with your past, something remarkable happens. The guilt fades, the shame quiets, the blame loosens its grip, and the future stops feeling like a punishment and starts feeling like a possibility again. Your past self got you here, not perfectly, not flawlessly, but faithfully, and you get to take it from here. So stop treating your past like a prison sentence. Start treating it like a chapter that had to happen so today's version of you could exist. You are not your mistakes. You are not your reputation from years ago. You are not the person people still remember you as. You are the person who kept going. And when you make peace with who you used to be, you unlock the power to become who you were always meant to be. Once you make peace with who you used to be, the next step is learning how to live like you actually believe you've forgiven yourself. And that's the hard part. Because even after you've accepted your past, the world around you doesn't always catch up. Some people will still see you as the old version of yourself. Some people will still bring up what you did, how you acted, who you used to be. And if you're not careful, their memory of you can shake the foundation you're trying to build. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone the old version of you, and you're not required to stay stuck so someone else can feel comfortable with their outdated opinion. The person you used to be didn't know what you know now. They hadn't healed the way you've healed. They didn't have the tools, the clarity, or the wisdom you carry today. Expecting the old you to have behaved like the current you is like blaming a seed for not acting like a tree. Don't hold yourself hostage over things you've outgrown. Part of making peace with your past is learning how to respond differently when it tries to reappear. Not with anger, not with guilt, but with strength. With a quiet confidence that says, yes, that was me, but this is me now. And that shift right there is when real growth shows up. Because when you finally stop hiding your past, it stops having power over you. When you stop running from your old mistakes, they stop chasing you. When you stop feeling ashamed of who you were, you finally get to step fully into who you're becoming. You are allowed to evolve, allowed to improve, allowed to change directions without apologizing for the road that got you here. Your past self walked so you could run. Your current self is running so your future self can fly. And if some people can't accept that, let them stay stuck. You're not staying behind with them. Remember this, your past explains you, but it does not define you. Your mistakes shaped you, but they do not own you. And your growth is the loudest proof that you are not who you used to be. So take a breath, step forward, and give yourself permission to live the life the old you could only dream of. Because peace with your past is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your freedom. There's one more step on this journey of making peace with who you used to be, and it's the part most people overlook. Allowing yourself to become someone completely new. See, it's one thing to forgive your past. It's another thing to outgrow your past, but giving yourself permission to evolve into a version of you that no one has ever seen before, that takes courage on an entirely different level, because reinvention threatens the people who only know your old chapters. They'll say you've changed. They'll say you're acting different. They'll say you're not the same person anymore. And you know what? They're right. You're not supposed to be. Growth isn't supposed to look familiar. Healing isn't supposed to keep you comfortable. Becoming better isn't supposed to make sense to people who have chosen to stay the same. There will come a point where you feel yourself stepping into a new identity, thinking differently, choosing differently, responding differently, dreaming on a level the old you didn't have access to. That's not pretending, that's evolving. And the most beautiful part is this: the moment you truly make peace with who you were, you stop being afraid of who you might become. You stop holding back. You stop dimming your own growth to keep other people comfortable. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into old rooms built for an older version of you. This is where life becomes exciting. This is where possibility opens up. This is where you finally get to build a future based on who you are, not who you were. But here's the deeper truth. Your future doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be willing. Willing to show up, willing to try again, willing to let old versions of you retire so new versions can rise. You owe that to yourself. You owe that to the life you haven't lived yet. You owe that to the dreams that are still waiting on you. So as you move forward from here, remember this: you are not chained to your history. You are not bound by your earlier chapters. You are not limited by the mistakes, the memories, or the moments that tried to hold you back. You are free to evolve, free to grow, free to become someone your past self would be proud of. This is your turning point. Your invitation to step fully into the life you've earned, the peace you've built, and the future you're finally ready to claim, because the power of making peace with who you used to be is that it gives you the permission to become exactly who you were always meant to be.